Have you ever noticed how, many times, the biggest enemy of our dreams is something that lives inside us? Ryan Holiday calls it the ego. That inner voice that exaggerates our importance, that craves recognition before we've earned it, and that blocks our ability to learn and grow. In Ego is the Enemy, he explains how the ego sabotages three major stages of life: when we're aspiring, when we succeed, and when we fail. This is a reflection on how the ego tries to dominate each stage, and how we can defeat it. Everything begins in the stage of aspiration. It's the moment when we're building something new, starting a journey, or dreaming big. And it's exactly in this phase that the ego shows up as a desire to seem big before becoming big. It pushes us to talk more than we work, to seek attention instead of mastery, to assume we already know enough. But true aspiration requires humility, patience, and learning. Instead of chasing applause at the beginning, we should chase improvement. Instead of trying to be admired, we should try to be useful. Real aspiration happens in silence. It requires discipline, focus, and consistency. It means working without showing off, studying without bragging, and letting the results speak for themselves. The greatest progress in life comes when we abandon the need for early recognition and accept that we're still students. Ego craves speed. Reality requires consistency. In this stage, the real victory is learning, not appearing. The real victory is growth, not attention. Then comes success. And now the ego takes on a different form. Instead of wanting to seem great, it wants you to believe you already know everything, that you're above others, that you don't need to keep learning. Ego during success is maybe the most dangerous because it makes you relax, slow down, and drift away from the discipline that brought you here. It whispers that you achieved everything alone, that you're superior, that admiration is now guaranteed. But success is fragile. It only stays with those who continue doing the work that created it. The antidote is to stay a student, to keep learning, listening to criticism, and staying grounded. Success shouldn't be a stage for arrogance, but a platform for growth. The best professionals and leaders are the ones who refuse to let ego take the wheel. They understand that success is not a final destination, but a temporary state, and the only way to maintain it is through humility and discipline. Finally, we face failure. The moment when things don't go as planned. When this happens, the ego suffers. It becomes dramatic, blames others, refuses responsibility, and tries to hide the fall. Ego turns normal failures into personal tragedies. It blocks recovery because it refuses to accept reality. But every failure is a hidden opportunity, a chance to learn, rebuild, and return stronger. The secret is to face failure with maturity. Instead of denying or escaping it, we should observe it clearly. What does it teach? What needs to change? What skill is missing? Resilience appears when the ego stops telling stories and lets us see the truth. Failure doesn't define us. Running away from failure does. When we combine these three stages, humble aspiration, disciplined success, and transformative failure, we begin to understand the book's message. The ego is the enemy because it tries to control each phase. It keeps us from learning in the beginning, blinds us during success, and crushes us during failure. Mastering the ego is mastering ourselves. In the end, Ryan Holiday's point is simple. Work quietly, keep an open mind, never consider yourself superior, and accept that life is a cycle of learning, growing, failing, and beginning again. The ego wants to put you at the top of the mountain without earning it. Reality demands one step at a time, and the reward only comes to those who stay humble while beginning, disciplined while succeeding, and resilient while failing. If you want to truly win, set the ego aside. Focus on improving, not impressing. contributing, not showing off, growing steadily, not appearing perfect. Whoever conquers the ego conquers themselves, and whoever conquers themselves can overcome any challenge.